Welcome back to F&A Van Life, everybody. We're so happy to have you here with us. What are we doing today?
We're doing a van tour review of Kara and Nate's van.
Yes, Kara and Nate are like OG YouTubers. They've been traveling the world for 4+ years. Love their content. Been loving it for a long time. So travel jealous.
The places that they go are phenomenal, and they stayed in so many different tiny homes all over the world.
Yes,
but
cool. Now they have their own tiny home.
Yeah.
Welcome to Van Life.
Welcome. We love you.
Today we are going to be reviewing their van tour and checking out their build.
Are you guys excited? Come along.
Tomorrow we are finally pulling out of Nate's parents' driveway to begin full-time van life.
Yeah.
But before we do, we wanted to give you a complete tour of our new home and show you how everything works.
These guys are so cute. I love them already.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I feel like I know them just because I've watched so many of their vlogs and traveled with them, and I'm so excited for them to have a home and not to be like living out of airports and hotels.
Or a tiny little suitcase.
Yeah.
Now they have a big suitcase.
Yeah.
After traveling internationally for the last 4 years and visiting 100 countries, 2020 brought us back to the United States of America, where we purchased a converted Sprinter van that will be our full-time home as we travel across the U.S., exploring our home country.
I'll tell you what, they are not letting the coronavirus slow them down. They're being safe, but having fun while they're still at it. And I love the fact that they joined the Sprinter community. Thank you guys for joining the Sprinter community.
This is a 2014 Mercedes Sprinter van. It's the high roof model, which means that we can both comfortably stand up inside. This van started as just a regular white cargo van, and it was completely converted from scratch by its previous owners, Ashley and Adam.
I think it's really awesome that they actually bought a Sprinter van that's already converted.
Oh yeah.
A, it saves them a ton of time. We don't know what the price was of the conversion that they bought, but the money that you'll save in time and energy and tears and like sweat is totally worth it, especially if your goal is just to get out on the road as quickly as possible.
Yeah, smart move, guys.
I guess we'll start with the cab and work our way back. It's pretty basic up here. The previous owner did install a backup camera, which is kind of an eyesore here on the dash, but it's pretty nice because it's hard to see out the back when there's this wall right here.
So I get that the dashboard camera is an eyesore, but it will come in so handy backing up that 170.
We have made 2 big modifications to the cab that we're really excited about. We have installed a swivel underneath the passenger seat.
I'm so jealous. I want a swivel seat so bad, especially now we have this open space.
Swivels just make your living space so much bigger. Just like she said, it allows you to kind of turn that chair around and make it part of your home.
Because before, the only place to sit in the van was in the back, but if the back was converted into a bed, there was nowhere to sit unless you wanted to be facing the front like we were driving.
So I think this is going to be the first kind of major downfall of the layout that they chose, is that the only place to sit and hang out is the bed. So having that swivel seat is absolutely necessary so you can kind of have a chair when your bed is made.
Yeah.
But the fact that you don't have any seating when your bed's up is kind of like a catch-22.
Yeah.
We bought this lap desk. Never thought I'd be a lap desk kind of person, but here we are. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing a lot of editing.
I do love that setup because you have the opportunity to look out the front windows. So if you park up like on a river or on a lake or something like that and you're front in, then you still have that epic view. You know what I mean?
Basically like 180 windows.
Yeah.
Also, we've installed this headliner shelf because there was so much wasted space up here, and when you're living in a place this tiny, you really need to take advantage of every single inch. But we loved how open it felt in the cab, and so we were a little hesitant, but I am so glad we went with it because we have so much more storage space now.
Man, can't be easy.
That's me every single time we're building something.
This headliner storage space is so necessary.
But let me tell you one thing about that storage space. Building it by yourself, not buying a pre-made one like that, building it by yourself is a nightmare. Do not try to build it yourself.
Well, you did it and it worked out fine.
It took me 8 hours to do that one thing though. Oh.
I was at work that day.
I would definitely do it again though.
You can't miss out on an inch of storage space in a van.
Nope.
So having that front cab area being kind of a catch-all, we got yoga mats, we got big bulky sweaters, all that kind of stuff just gets thrown up there. Super handy use of space.
Oh yeah.
But the struggle is real.
The struggle is totally real.
A small safe down here in the middle. And that safe didn't hold all of our expensive electronics that we were traveling with. Created dividers to hold all of our electronics securely so nothing would bump around while we were driving.
Love the storage space
Love
inside of the vault. Such a good idea to be able to store and charge all of your electronics in a secure place.
And I love the fact that it's broken up very, very nicely. You guys did an excellent job on securing everything.
And it is important to have a secret storage space so that things like your passport, any important documents, you know, your expensive camera gear can have somewhere safe to live while you're traveling, because, like, God forbid somebody breaks into your van.
Like, if they're breaking into your van and they open up that door, they're going to see the safe. They're going to know that important items are in that safe specifically.
And then just take the whole safe.
And they're going to try to take that whole safe. So how hard is it to actually get that safe out is my question.
Well, hopefully we'll never have to find out.
Yeah, hopefully never. I hope nobody ever breaks into your guys' van.
God.
Yeah, or ours.
Or anybody's.
Or anybody's.
Ugh.
Second shelf is completely devoted to all of our drone stuff. And then down here on the bottom, we have a place for both of our big cameras when we're not using them.
Just like on a side, for full-time YouTubers, it's really amazing that their gear isn't like anything crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they have a very basic setup. I mean, our setup is about the same as theirs.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like nice to see this, because you're like, I could make amazing videos that are viewed millions of times with just like 2 cameras, a GoPro, and a drone.
That's it. That's all you need. Anybody could create. You just gotta be fun and have good ideas and put it together really well.
We'll see if we achieve that. Let us know in the comments below.
So we didn't want the safe to be the first thing that you saw when you walked into the van. So we installed this this closet door to cover it up, and then we used that as an opportunity to hang a mirror for Kara.
I also hope they don't leave their keys in it like that.
The only other thing I'll say about this cabinet is that obviously there's some open space above it. Probably a good place for a basket with maybe some stuff in it, or like a nice little storage area.
Oh, yeah.
You could definitely fit some more stuff in that cupboard.
Yeah, because remember, like we said, storage is key.
We couldn't find one that fit this area perfectly, so we had to buy 3 separate ones and put them together, which kind of worked.
As long as I don't mind looking at my body in 3 separate sections.
It's kind of like being at a carnival in one of those fun houses where the mirror warps your body.
That is great.
You look great in that mirror, even though your body is split into 3. It kind of like elongates.
It makes you look taller.
Yeah.
This was one of like the big things that we learned when we took that little test trip for a few days, was that we had no place to store our pots and pans.
I literally had one of our frying pans in the cabinet with our bedding. It was like sheets, blanket, frying pan.
It's hilarious that you had your frying pan with all that other stuff.
Hopefully it was nice and clean, or you like have bacon grease on your pillow. You're like, what is that?
You're waking up to beautiful smells of bacon
Of last night's dinner. But yeah, big bulky items like that are really hard to find spaces for in the van, so you just have to get creative, and I love what they did by adding the extra drawer, big enough, deep enough for all of their big bulky things.
You want to be in? Come on, come up here. Paco wanted to be involved.
Yeah, he really looks like he wants to be involved.
He's definitely happy about this now.
And then we just left this bottom area down here the same, because we thought it'd be nice just to be able to like kick off our shoes and throw them somewhere.
Love the idea of being able to kick off your shoes and throw them somewhere, but that's gonna get kind of messy and clunky. I suggest a giant like wicker basket or something like that you could easily like make a drawer. I know making drawers from wood is really annoying and awful, so if you just buy like an appropriately sized basket, same deal, and it'll add a little bit of color and like texture to this front part of your build.
Yeah, I like it.
May have noticed that bathroom tours have kind of become my thing. Definitely the best view from the toilet I've ever had. So I'm very excited to give you a tour of our bathroom. The toilet is in the shower.
The toilet being in the shower is pretty common in van builds. It sounds weird, and like for people living in houses, you might be like,
Ooh.
what? but that's kind of the only place for it to go, so.
Yep.
Nature's Head composting toilet. And if you saw our last video, you'll know that the liquids go in these front 2 holes and empty into this tank. And when it's full, but not too full,
I feel like we shouldn't have filled it up all the way. Oh, there's pee.
we take this out and dump it somewhere.
The Nature's Head is a catch-22. That pee bucket has to be emptied daily.
Yes.
And it's a really big, kind of clunky unit. We've heard from our friends, Forrest and Alex, that the airhead is actually smaller, better functionality in terms of usage and cleaning.
And you also get a longer time period out of the composting part from what we've heard. I think that the Nature's Head normally lasts about 2 to 3 weeks. And then the airhead lasts like 2 months, supposedly.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So if you're in the market for a composting toilet, be ready to drop $1,000.
One year.
Get the airhead instead of the Nature's Head. It's a little bit less known of a brand, but it's a way better quality.
And also less expensive.
A little bit less expensive, yeah.
Yep.
This side is our shower. We haven't actually taken a proper shower in here yet. I accidentally showered with my clothes on the other day, but we have a 40-gallon water tank and a 2.5-gallon water heater. So if we want to take a hot water shower only, we'll have to turn it on, get wet, turn it off, lather up, turn it back on, rinse.
Quick tip, guys. I know you're a little bit new to van life, but when you have a 40-gallon tank, it goes
So quick.
So if you're willing to fill up at least once a week, if not maybe more, if you're taking a shower every single day, you could do the or you could turn it on a little bit longer if you're using or not using the hot water heater. Either way, you're still gonna have to go.
It's like one extra chore that you want to delay as long as possible. For us, anyways.
Yeah.
We don't like having to fill up our water tank. We'd rather like stretch it out as long as possible.
Yeah.
Because who likes doing chores? You'd rather be out having fun and enjoying your van life rather than like filling and dumping tanks.
But depending on where you guys are staying and what you guys are doing, you might have available water hoses everywhere. So
have as many showers as you want.
Realistically, they're everywhere. So filling up water is one of the easiest things in van life. Just to give you guys a heads up.
We have a 5-gallon gray water tank beneath us.
So, this is the tank, and when it fills up, you just have to crawl under here and...
So is that gray water tank just for the shower?
That's what I think it is. I think it's just for the shower. So they'll get 5 gallons of water when they shower between the two of them.
Yeah.
And then they'll go and they'll dump it. That way it's ready to go for the next time.
Or I wonder if you're about to take a shower, if you're somewhere and you're using biodegradable soaps, you could just open that tank and then shower and it would go right out.
Yeah, I mean, most people actually step outside their van and shower when they're in the middle of nowhere. So it's the same exact thing as if you had it open the whole time as well.
Interesting. And then you can avoid this.
Empty it out with your face not so close.
Another thing that I would do in that situation is I would have a hose hookup for it. That way you could put your MPT to that and then put your hose hook up to that, and then you could run your hose wherever, and then that way when you turn that valve, you don't get splashed in the face by the shit water. It's not shit. Dirty water.
Yeah. Ooh.
Across from the bathroom is our kitchen. We have a 2-burner stove that runs off a 10-gallon propane tank under the sink. So there's our propane tank. We have some cleaning stuff here.
So that's a pretty common setup for propane systems. A lot of people are probably in the comments gonna say that, you know, this isn't the safest way to travel and blah, 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 and it's dangerous. But honestly, having it strapped up like that, the hose on it, that's pretty much how all vans operate.
They also have the proper connection on there as well, you know, so just having all the right things connected is really all you need to do. And people travel all the time with propane tanks in their van, on their van, attached to their vans, buses, all that stuff. You I've never actually heard a story of anybody blowing up or anything because they're a tank.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe...
So don't even bother mentioning it in the comments.
Well, you can, that's fine. You mention what you like. I do love the fact that the cooktop is built into the top of the cooktop. It makes it to where you don't have to remove it, you don't have to move it around.
So handy.
So handy. So handy.
We just fill up with the hose pipe, and regular hose pipe water comes out of the sink.
I think the pump just scared her.
You think?
Yeah, the of the pump. She was like, oh, snap, like, what happened? You'll get used to it, don't worry.
And their pump's not even that loud. Remember our first pump?
Oh, how could I forget? That's drilled into my brain for the rest of my life.
And it only worked for like a day, and by worked I mean blew up our entire piping system.
Yeah, do not buy the $15 pump on Amazon.
Spend the money, get the sure flow.
Yes.
Have these leather tabs instead of handles, and we weren't sure how we felt about these at first, but then I realized I'm not gonna have bruises on my legs for the rest of our van life.
Another thing I noticed, they have a bit skinnier of a space than we do in the middle here. So those knobs are essential for how tight it is there. We never tend to hit our legs on these. I think it's just due to the fact that we have more space.
Well, yeah, if you look, like she is standing there and is basically the whole width of what they have. We can both stand here and like, yeah, we're tight, but like, you know, that's the whole space. So we almost have double the walkway that they have.
The fact that they have that shower there, it had to be pushed out further. The Nature's Head toilet made it have to push out further.
Right.
Because those things are fairly bulky and like you want to fit your whole body in there, no problem, and stuff like that. So you have to, you know, account for that space.
Yeah, so basically they're built as like a hallway to the bedroom.
Yep.
Just so happy with how clean and easy this is now. Woo! Still getting used to this.
That's gonna happen a lot.
Yeah.
At least for
on
the
your
first couple
head,
months.
on your knees, on your shins. You're gonna hit a lot of things.
I can't tell you how many times we've walked into that.
It is what
Crazy.
it is.
Just like the shower, there's a separate 5-gallon gray water tank underneath the van on this side that catches all of the water coming from the sink.
I see. So you guys have 2 separate 5-gallon gray water tanks. That's super cool. I like that idea. I like that idea for the fact that you are going to be dumping your gray water fairly often from like washing dishes and things like that, but that also helps to where you don't gather up bacteria
And smells and things like
smells
that.
from not dumping enough.
Right.
Yeah.
My only concern about having the tanks on the bottom of the vehicle is freeze-ups in winter. I guess it's only 5 gallons each, and if you're dumping it every single day, but like if you have a really cold overnight and that tank's not empty, it's gonna be frozen.
You guys can wrap it with insulation, and that should take care of the majority of cold days that you're gonna have, even if it's below freezing. I think if you wrap it with the correct insulation, you could get down to like 15 degrees or something like that and be okay. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Cool.
Our fridge, there's not much in here right now, mostly chocolate and bubbly water. It has a little freezer compartment. It's probably not what we would have chosen. We would like something a little bit bigger, but it wasn't really worth redoing this entire cabinet just for a little bit bigger fridge.
I totally agree that that fridge seems a bit small, and the freezer space probably isn't gonna be all that useful. Maybe instead of redoing the whole thing, you could put a Dometic slider in and out so that you could utilize the
I think it would be
space.
hard for them because of the
Oh yeah, it won't be able to come out all the way
I mean,
because of the narrowness.
unless they could bring it out towards the passenger seat, like how we have it in our van,
Right.
where they could slide it out, you know, towards them. That might be useful for them, and then they could get like a 40-something quart
Right.
refrigerator, and you don't really need the freezer, or you could get one that has
The
part
split,
freezer.
yeah.
One thing that we learned on our test trip is that pretty much every time I open this up, something fell on my face, and so this basket has solved that problem, at least for now.
Totally important to have your things in baskets up in this area. Yes, things are gonna fall out. It's like when you're on an airplane and things may have shifted during the ride. You're like, watch out when you open it.
Things may shift while this plane ride is in session.
This side of the kitchen has kind of become my favorite corner of the whole van. The previous owners had a TV here, and we don't watch a lot of TV, and we were nervous that if there was one in here, then we would start watching it all the time.
They've definitely upgraded this back corner nook. It looks so much better.
Yeah.
You really don't need a giant TV. If you want to watch something, you have a computer, you have a
Phone.
tablet, you have a phone. You don't need a TV screen. And like Kara said, it's like, if you have it, you'll use it.
Yeah.
So you might as well get rid of it and then have the space open for this beautiful plant and the stereo and all this other stuff.
Realistically, for the lifestyle that they're living, sort of similar to us, we are out in nature a lot more, we're traveling around a lot more, and then when we get back to the van, we really need to get into our editing and getting all of our footage and figuring out music and all this stuff, so we don't have time to watch TV.
Turned into like our drink station as well. As you can see, we've installed a wine rack, which you'll see why this is important in the future.
That wine rack
Nice.
kind of makes me nervous.
Yeah, because when you get going down those forestry roads and they're bumpy as hell, I hope it stays.
I
they don't
hope that
break.
you never have a smashed wine bottle in
May-
your white van.
Maybe taking like a piece of like foam or something and putting it on like the metal part where the bottle lays down.
Or
might help
securing it
too.
over the top somehow also. I don't know. It just, to me, it looks like an accident waiting to happen.
It's a bit scary.
It's a bit scary.
I think I figured out why the wine rack is important later on.
Why?
Harvest host.
Oh, because you think they're doing harvest
When you
host.
go to these different places and harvest host, a lot of them are wineries and breweries and things like that.
And you're supposed to buy a bottle of wine.
I
support-
think I found your secret. I think I found your secret.
Since we officially have a home now, we went all out on our coffee setup. We have a 6-cup glass Chemex, which is totally not practical for van life, but we really wanted to.
That thing is super cool looking.
It's really cool looking, and even if it's not practical, people love their coffee. So, like,
mean-
if this is your thing, go all out.
You gotta get that caffeine jump to get your day started, you know?
Frank does not need a caffeine.
No, I don't. I like it though.
Underneath our drink station is our toiletry drawer. I've put all these little bins to organize everything, and all of this is mine, and I've left this one for Nate.
First off, Nate, you get the bad end of the stick just like I do. They get all the storage.
You don't have stuff.
What do you mean? I have plenty of stuff. I just had to get rid of it because you have more stuff.
You had stuff that you were never using that had been in your cupboard for like years.
Alright, maybe she's a little right.
These bottom 2 drawers are for our clothes. This one's Nate's, this one's mine. And what's crazy is the size of this drawer is pretty much the size of our entire suitcase that we've been living out of for the last 4 years.
That's amazing. Amazing. I feel like these guys are so good at being compact and minimalist because they've had to travel around the world that moving into a van is really no big deal. It's like she's saying, it's the same size. They have more space now.
I feel like moving into a van for you guys is gonna be so much better because you actually get to like keep things, a couple little things, you know, not anything crazy, but then you guys will have opportunities to like buy little like things that you like to use and stuff like that and keep it with you for your rest of your travels. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I'm happy for you guys. Congratulations on moving into something bigger than what you normally have.
Well, it's like it gives you the ability to travel, but you also have a home.
Yeah.
Installed 2 extra fans in here with a little bit of extra effort.
Why are you not working?
I love that it's just like, beautiful van, and then Nate like banging his head against the wall at like how hard it is to get to this point. So if you're still van building, we've all been in that same boat.
We feel you, for sure.
When we originally bought this van, this table was super wobbly and set really low. And so what we did was And now after almost catching the van on fire, it is nice and sturdy.
Oh, that's gonna happen when you're doing van build stuff.
A little slight fire,
We've burnt this whole entire place. That's why it looks like this.
but like on purpose.
Yeah, on purpose.
Honestly, going into bed mode is a little inconvenient. We're still getting the hang of it, but I think it's totally worth having this awesome workspace during the day.
Don't disagree with you there at all. I think that the fact that it's fully open, you could fit like 7 people back there almost, it looks like. You know,
Or even just to work on your computer and
Yeah.
have like a nice, comfortable couch and desk
lounging
to sit
area,
on.
everything. It's great for all that.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure this next section is gonna be a little bit complicated.
Yeah, let's watch.
Let's do this. First thing we have to do is take the top of the table off the stand. All right, so you like press this little button down, loosen it this way.
The lagoon table is great, but it's very complicated, and every time I go to loosen it or put it back together, I'm like, I don't know which way it goes.
It totally takes time to learn, and just knowing that you could just pull the handle out rather than sort of like pushing the little button thing that they have there to turn it, it takes time to learn.
You just kind of wiggle it until it goes off. Ugh. Then set that here for now. And then we take the stand off, and it works the same way.
I wonder if it's low enough that they could just drop the stand to the ground and then build the bed on top of it, because that would be a really handy feature, because then you don't have to completely remove this. You could just loosen it, drop it to the ground, and then build your bed on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they could always like either bring that part up or cut the bottom of it, put the cap back in. So
like lower the mount.
Yeah, that way they could lower it all the way down and it actually fits fully in.
Put it on the ground. And then this table goes between the cushions to act as support. And then we have an extra piece right here that just lives underneath this cushion. It goes at the bottom. Alright, so
she looks like she's doing a gymnastics routine up there. Like, it's a little bit of like a tricky situation to be in.
It's definitely an aerobic activity for sure.
That's really the hardest part. From here, it gets a little easier. So we take these sides.
She's out of breath already. I get it, and it's a hot day, they said too.
Yeah,
so
hot
like,
day. They have that fan off because they don't want the noise with the mic and stuff.
But like, to do this every single night and every single morning would drive me bonkers.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
I just want to come home and like lay in bed and be done.
I think the biggest problem that I have with it too is all those seams in the bed. I wonder if that's comfortable. I feel like you would start falling in it. Your sheets would fall into it. Like everything would sort of fall into those cushions.
Well, and like I said, if you're sitting on that side one and then this becomes a droop here, then do you fall into it while you're sleeping? And,
yeah.
Because like a mattress will naturally kind of over time. So
yeah.
You know, who knows? Aimless Travels did say that the seam in their bed is a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, and unless they sleep on an angle, they definitely fall into it somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Surprisingly, this is pretty much a king bed. It's just 4 inches short of a king.
So amazing to have a king size bed. I would hate to have to make it every day. Making a bed is my most annoying task ever. So having to make and unmake a bed every single day.
I get yelled at for it almost every single morning if I'm the last one out of the bed, which normally is me getting out of the bed last, because I hate to make the bed.
But
or I just forget to
tiny.
make the bed. And Alex,
well, I also like race out of the bed and I say, last one in the bed has to make it. And then I dip out and then he's still in there. And so he's the last one.
So 50% of the time, it gets made every time.
It's not the most comfortable bed I've ever slept in, but after traveling full-time the last 4 years and sleeping in like a million different beds, planes, trains, buses, we can pretty much sleep anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think they care about the crease after where they've slept. That's for
sure. Totally. Yeah. The crease is not a big deal in some of those sleeping positions they've found.
Yeah. We're storing all the window covers right here behind the driver's seat.
The previous owner made these, and the back ones just are magnets and pop right on.
Honestly, you guys gotta steal the fact that the previous owners made those, because those things are expensive to buy.
It's like $1,200 for a set of these.
And just making them yourself is
really annoying.
Really annoying and tidy. I mean, Alex will tell you she made all of ours, but the fact that you guys got them is wonderful.
We took the Velcro off, and we had Nate's mom sew in these grommets. Then we added these little hooks on top of the window. Just last night we glued these washers on the bottom of the window and glued these magnets on the bottom, and I honestly don't know if they work yet, so. Oh, look at that! Before, these would just kind of hang like this and they still didn't feel very...
So smart to take the Velcro off. Velcro's just like ugly and not aesthetically pleasing. So to have those grommets and the little screws that you're never gonna see, so smart, love it.
Good job, guys. I think that's amazing what you guys did, changing up the little things that make the van just that much better.
So overall, I love the interior of the van. I love how bright and modern it is. It seems like it's going to be really functional. They have lots of storage space. I think the skinniness of the walkway might get annoying at times, even just to like get past each other while you're like on your way.
Yeah.
But overall, I think they're going to be really happy in there.
I mean, I also think that it's great that you guys have been with each other and know what it's like to live and travel and be next to each other all the time. It's going to make this change of lifestyle and coming into the van so much easier. And just having that small walkway, it will be an opportunity for hugs.
All the little things that we don't know where to put in the van, like sunscreen, bug spray, cleaning supplies, and then all of the big stuff that we need to store kind of goes in this trunk area right here.
That trunk's a little small.
That trunk is very small.
There is not a lot of room for junk in their trunk.
There is no way they're getting a board or anything in there.
They don't have a lot of room for stuff in the trunk, but they do have the opportunity to get that beautiful out the back shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from the table and also from the bed. Just that big, wide open space, and they never have to worry about hitting their head on the ceiling when they're in bed.
Yeah, the fact that they could sit up in bed is probably really great.
Yeah.
One thing that our van is missing is a heater, and I know I could install one, but I started researching and it looks like a lot of work.
Yo, Nate, I got you, bro. I can install that heater for you, no problem. Free of charge. I got you.
It's a pretty quick, easy job, and honestly, the heater makes such a difference.
Really does.
We lived in this through the dead of winter in like minus 30 degrees and was totally comfortable in here.
And honestly, even in fall, you have those cold days in fall, you have the cold days in spring, you're gonna definitely need that heater in those moments. It is a key, essential part of the van. Another thing, it's going to keep your water lines from freezing. If you're in like a really cold place, set it up on temperature control, set it up for like 55 degrees, comes right on, and you have your water lines nice and heated. That way you don't have to worry about a freeze up inside your
that would
van.
be really bad because it's all under the couch and stuff, and so like if those lines pop, that sucks.
We had one in here, and we had a heater. We just didn't have it on at the time because we didn't have enough power at the time because we didn't have the two.
Whatever.
Yeah,
so we did before we had the heater running properly. We froze our lines twice. And both times sucked.
Yeah.
Up here on the roof, and this is where the roof rails are supposed to be, but they weren't installed before the van was built out. So now there's no way to attach the roof rails without tearing out the ceiling, which means that unless I tear out the ceiling, we can't put a roof rack on top of the van.
Drill it in and silicone it down, my friend. You'll be all right.
Go for it.
Go for gold. They also have like this spacecraft type of tape that you could use to adhese it down. Some of the couples that we know actually use it for their solar, so that way they don't have to drill into the vehicle and they have no movement whatsoever on those solar panels.
Eventually they might enjoy the roof rack, especially because their storage area in the back is so small. Like if they want a stand-up paddleboard or skateboards or, you know, whatever, having that extra storage area is going to be key because that little nook that you have back there is pretty small.
Yeah.
The last few weeks have been really, really special for us, turning this place into a home because we haven't had a home in 4 years, and I love it so much.
We are hitting the road full time tomorrow, and we could not be more excited. We can't wait to share this next chapter with you.
We are so happy for them. They're gonna love van life. They love long-term travel, and now they can travel with their home with them, which is so amazing. Kara and Nate, we're so happy for you guys, and we hope to see you on the road.
Congratulations, guys, and welcome to van life.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If there's a van that you want us to review, drop the links down below.
We love you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget, we have videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, so stay tuned for those. Hit that notification button. Peace.